guys, a little bit of a journal entry here. I want to share with you what's alive in me today, this morning, as I'm going for a beautiful walk/run in Spain. And that is, and this has been happening for years, this unraveling deeper into authentic motivation. Most people do things or don't do things out of pain or fear. Either I'm afraid I will fail, so I'm not going to do it, or I'm afraid of being a failure, so I will do it. I'm afraid that I am not enough, and so I will do XYZ to get this and that or this person, so that then I feel enough, or so that they finally see me, that I am enough, that I'm beautiful, that I'm worthy. And this isn't something that you can just become aware of and drop in an instant. It's something, at least for me, that has taken years and layers of shedding. And most of what I've done in my life in reflection, I see, has been out of this pain, basically out of pain of not being enough and doing everything I can to prove to myself and to others in the world that I am enough. And it only got me so far in my life. And there came a point, I believe about 6-7 years ago, where nothing I did worked anymore, because everything that I did, everything I touched was just out of that pain of like, I'm doing this so that I don't feel this pain of not being enough. And it's not that like it didn't work. I couldn't even really do it. Nothing really motivated me anymore. I mean, perhaps maybe you can relate to this, where like you used to have certain passions or certain friendships, certain relationships, certain things that you did, but all of a sudden, perhaps even right now, they're kind of like fading away. There's just that zest just isn't there anymore. It's just not moving the depths of you. And not to say that you couldn't keep doing it if it's just something that, pays the bills. It's beautiful to do it. It takes care of you. You don't have to drop it in an instant, but you just know in your soul it's time to move on to something new. And you don't even really know what it is anymore or why you even want it, but the essence of it is that it just doesn't motivate you anymore. And perhaps like me, you've searched for something new to motivate you, right? And I've done this too for many years of like, oh, maybe it's this thing. Oh, this feels so exciting. Therefore, that must be the new thing. But then you find very quickly that you bring your old self into it again. And again, it becomes a source of trying to prove yourself in some deep subconscious way, or trying to move away from pain, trying to create a challenge for yourself to overcome, so that then you feel worthy. All of these stories and these patterns that we use to fulfill ourselves, to make ourselves feel worthy, in the end, they kind of start to just fall away. At least this is what's happening for me now for many years. And this week I was in a retreat for 7 days, and man, I just came to like the center point of the emotion that was really keeping me in that loop and where I am right now. And I released it. I released a big chunk of it. And I'm just kind of walking in a daze now for days and days, feeling so relaxed and so at peace. And I'm noticing the percolations, and it might be too soon to say it, but I'm noticing the percolations of something very different moving inside of me. And it's something that for years has been coming in layers also. Just a new type of fuel, a new type of motivation. And it's very, very strange. It's very, very new, because when you're used to just being motivated by trying to get away from something, albeit, even if it's very subconscious, to moving from joy, moving from sheer unbridled peace of just like, what would I love to do today? It's a very, very different sensation. And I've had for years now this new way of being coming into my body and into my life, but it's kind of been distorted. It's been coming in through almost like, you're switching to a new channel on an old TV, and you can still see the new channel, but you can still see the old channel or the static in between, kind of like that. And where I am today, right now, and what I'm feeling in my body is a deeper fullness of that channel coming in. I'm like, wow, I don't actually have to run away from anything. I don't need to prove anything. I'm perfectly okay as I am right now. What would I love to do? And it's such a different feeling. It's like, when you're used to just going and going and going and going and moving out of that push, it's almost like someone just takes the deflates this balloon from inside of you. It's not there anymore, and something else takes its place. It's a very beautiful feeling, and that's what I wanted to share with you today. Consider the fact that there is a new way of moving, a new way of being, where you're just enough, as you are, period. What kind of things could you create from that? If you were just totally enough as you are, if you were perfectly okay as you were, if you were already enough, what would you do? How would you do it? Who would you do it with? That is a question worth exploring. Like right now, all I am feeling drawn to in my life is just being in nature, reconnecting to nature, playing, having fun, and sharing that with people. Gosh, like, could life really be just that simple and that beautiful? And knowing that from that place, other beautiful ideas and inspirations eventually are going to rise up, You're not going to lay around and do nothing forever. But before, this would be a terrifying thing for me to do. And perhaps you can relate to this if you've been a workaholic yourself in your life, you're addicted to achievement. The ego, it loves to create problems for itself so that it then can overcome these problems, so it then can feel validated. And so in my body and my constitution, it's it's kind of been an addiction to have problems, to have very big, unsurpassable problems that I need to overcome. Or I have a dream, I have a vision. It can't just be a simple, straightforward path to do it. I know I've got to put obstacles in the way so that then I can overcome them, so that then I will never get to where I want to go, so that then I can keep this thing going, this hamster wheel in my body, this energetic twist. The ego loves to do that. And I'm witnessing just the end of it, when it's just not there anymore. And before, I wouldn't be able to allow that in my life, because as soon as there was nothing, just really nothing to do, this feeling would come up of feeling totally discombobulated or worthless, or like a deep meaninglessness. And that brought up a lot of fear in this body, in this life. And to not feel that, then I would fixate on an outcome that I wanted to create, or a routine, or some goal. And what I'm witnessing now is like a total okayness with none of it. It's very new. It's more spaciousness in my body. It's very, very beautiful. So I thought to celebrate that with you. Thanks for watching. And if you want to join me in this adventure, check out some of the links below. I'm still looking for some amazing lucky souls to join us for the sailing trip in Greece. More on that soon. And there's a link there down below if you want to connect as well. See you soon.